Brandy, 10 years ago, everything you said would have triggered me. Honey, me too. 10 years ago, I would have found myself rude. 10 years ago, I would have found myself uncaring, rude. I wouldn't have been able to tolerate the way I talk or the things I say because I was steeped in the hypnotism of I was broken. And people who spoke directly to my mental state, my finding myself a victim, were rude. I needed people to use words covered in fluff because I used such harsh words with myself. I recycled other people's harsh words in myself that I couldn't tolerate. I wasn't sturdy. I couldn't tolerate people being direct because I felt like it was mean. I couldn't tolerate not agreeing with somebody because everything that wasn't agreement felt like a fight. Like there was no nuance between either all agree or we're fighting, which didn't help my relationships. I had the vision of being someone who was at a disadvantage. So I heard it from other people and I saw it. The things you are looking for are the things you're going to find. Let's talk about Chuck. I've had a whole lot of folks who identify as Christians have a really hard time with him. You know what he is? He's a skeleton. Do you know what he means to me? He reminds me that every day is a day I get. Being a skeleton, only a skeleton, is coming. Understanding that death is always on my plate for dessert reminds me that today is what I have. And that helped me go from the person who was so sensitive to becoming a person who actually could tolerate living a full life, a life that I didn't have to protect myself from, to be able to have conversations with people that I don't have to keep looking out for their evilness or the way they're going to take advantage of me, because you know, all the ways people have taken advantage of me, insert them here. Friend, there comes a point when you get to realize, and not with an attitude, but just realize what you have to say, your ministry, what you want to share, it's not for everybody. It's just not. And you can bend to manipulate yourself, to make yourself more palatable to other people, but then they're going to get a surprise when the real you shows up. And then they're going to feel like it's a bait and switch because you were one way and now you're another way. Or you can keep on masking and make yourself sick for the benefit of more people to like you. Honey, you will never do significant things in your life when what you are searching for is the good opinion of other people. You will not. And so, how does this come back to the beginning where 10 years ago I would have been more than I could handle. I couldn't have heard me. But also, I would have lived in my head rent-free. I would have recycled my words and used them against me as a key to lock the prison some more, not a key to get out. The same key that locks your prison is the key that gets you out, and the key and the lock are on the inside. And it starts with how you think. And you've been taught you've been taught what to think, and you've been taught what to believe, but you haven't been taught how to think it out and how to believe in what actually serves you. You were brought up in a society where you were taught to think and taught to believe what served the people who meant to control your behavior. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just a part of growing up, a part of being in a society. Children are wild, man. They are wild. So we need to put a little reins on them at first. But then there doesn't come the time when we explain to them why it was important that they learn how to do the thing now without questioning it, number one. And number two, then have an adult relationship where people get to decide for themselves who they are, what they believe, what is true about them. So, know this. If I'm not for you, then I'm not. And also, I want to offer this to you. Don't use my words against you. Don't use my words as more fuel for you to find brokenness in yourself. Just don't. You don't have permission to do that. I revoke permission for that. Of course, also, I'm not the boss of your mind. So don't let me be. I love you madly. Chuck loves you madly. Chuck and I want you to remember right this minute is what you have. It's all you're promised. Stop living like you're going to live forever and putting off the things that are important to you. And start living like today was the best day in the world and you know it. You just don't remember why. So instead of looking for evil or the ways people are going to take advantage of you or the ways that the world is a dumpster fire, look for the ways that this was the best day in your life and find it. Just glimpses of it. Because what you look for is what you're going to find. I'm madly in love with you. Boop, 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 boop.